morning, everybody, and welcome to Orangeville, Ontario, the home of the 2016 Founders Cup. And we are about to launch this week-long tournament here this morning at the Alder Street Arena. And we begin today's action with a game between the Calgary Chill and the Saskatchewan SWAT. Hello, everybody. My name is Mark McKelvey. Pleased to call the action here for the opening two games of today's tournament. We've got a great tournament coming up. 8 teams here vying to become the national champion of Junior B lacrosse, and we're going to get it started with a couple teams who had to travel quite a distance to get here, the Calgary Chill and the Saskatchewan SWAT. While we have a moment, let's check out the teams in this year's tournament. You get a look here at Group A, and that's what we're going to start with in Group A. Calgary and Saskatchewan to play the opening game. After this game, Nova Scotia and the Green Gales from here in Ontario will clash. Here's a look at Group B, so you'll see the 4 other teams in the tournament. Group B includes the host team, the Orangeville Northmen. They are joined by Coquitlam, Seneca, and Manitoba. So those are the 8 teams that make up this year's tournament. And it promises to be a great tournament, an exciting tournament for the people here in Orangeville to host and for the fans of lacrosse to be able to check on out. So we're moments away from getting started, but let's check out what we have coming up here today for you. We've got 4 games in total throughout the day. We start, as I mentioned, with Calgary and Saskatchewan. Coming up at 2 o'clock, Nova Scotia and the Green Gales will clash. Then this evening, into the afternoon portion, Manitoba and Seneca. And then coming up, the final game, that'll be the kickoff of the opening ceremonies as the host Orangeville Northmen will clash against Coquitlam. So there are the 4 games we have for you here today. So it's going to be a day filled with lacrosse, a day filled with plenty of great action, and you'll be able to see it all right here. So we're moments away from getting started, so why don't we tee up this morning's first matchup, and we'll go with our players to watch as we look at Tate Katoni of the Calgary Chill. He'll be our player to watch. You see the numbers right there. A very high score, 89 points during the regular season in the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League. And Katoni is going to be a player that Saskatchewan is going to have to shut down in order to potentially come away with a victory. For Saskatchewan on the other end, that player who may have the assignment to shut down Katoni, that would be Bryce Dueck. Dueck, a very steady defender for the Saskatchewan SWAT. You see right there, only 2 penalty minutes all year. So he is very valuable for the team as he is usually on the floor, doesn't spend any time really in the penalty box. So those are the 2 players we're going to keep an eye on. How about the 2 netminders for today's game? We'll start with the Calgary Chill, and between the pipes for them, it'll be Aiden Pincombe. So Aiden Pincombe gets the call for this opening game of the tournament. He will look to come up big as the Calgary Chill get this tournament underway. For the Saskatchewan SWAT, their starting netminder will be Eric Dirksen. Dirksen gets the call there. Kept a close eye on both netminders during the warm-up. Both seem to be loose and ready for today's first game. And you'd have to think there's going to be a little bit of nerves on both sides as they start this national championship. So both teams are now stepping out onto the floor. We are moments away from the first game at the 2016 Founders Cup. We're going to take a quick break and then we will be back. Stick around. You're watching the 2016 Founders Cup. There's a live look here at beautiful Orangeville, Ontario, the host of the site of the 2016 Founders Cup. And thank you for tuning in to catch here the first game of the tournament. Both teams on the floor. We'll send it down to floor level for the national anthem. We are now moments away from starting off the 2016 Founders Cup, and we want you to join the conversation. Follow us here on Twitter at JVI Video. Follow the Founders Cup at 2016 Founders Cup. You see it right there on your screen. Use the hashtags as well. You can follow myself, Mark McKelvey, on Twitter at Mark14McKelvey. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. We've got all the social media platforms covered here at JVI as we get set to start the 2016 Founders Cup. And you know, any tournament, you like to see the first game set the tone for the day, and I think we're going to see a good one here between the Calgary Chill and the Saskatchewan SWAT as you see the officials having a quick conversation right at center. And we're all set to start the 2016 Founders Cup, Calgary Chill, Saskatchewan SWAT. And here we go. And right off the bat, the Chill will win the opening faceoff, and we are set as it's Cody Arsenault who came away with it, and Arsenault now is going to hand it off to Joe Gardner. Gardner pushed towards the outside, passes off into the corner. With it is Katoni. We're going to keep a close eye on Tate Katoni. He has it, tries to roll up top, takes the shot. That one just missed wide on the far side. Ball is now going to bounce right down the floor, and both teams in the midst of changing things up, as it looks like the Chill, though, are going to maintain possession, although the shot clock was down at 2 seconds here, and it's going to expire as that original shot did miss the mark. So possession now will be handed over to the Saskatchewan SWAT. So the SWAT now take over, and with it is Danny Martin. Actually, Ethan Kennedy's the one going to start with it. He'll now pass over to Martin, and the SWAT look to work it around to start here. This is their first offensive possession. There's a shot, and we get the save made as Pacombe comes up big. Now here's a breakaway right off the bat. Here come the Chill. In a shot, and they score! Owen Ritchie gets loose, no defenders around, breaks in all alone, and he scores. And just like that, 50 seconds into this contest, it is 1-0 for the Calgary Chill. Check it out here on our replay. The pass ahead, Ritchie comes in, and he just fires it by that right-hand shot. No mistake. So 1-0, just like that. Now here come the Chill once again, as you see the shot fired there by Spencer Gillis. Ball's going to bounce out towards center. And with the reset, plenty of time now here for the Chill to set things up. Ben Foster has it. Foster passes across over to Jake Gillis. Gillis into the corner, hands it off. Rolling into Katoni. Katoni takes the shot and he just missed. No reset, and the ball is actually going to ricochet up and over the glass and out of play. So a 1-0 lead here for the Calgary Chill, as it's Owen Ritchie putting it home. And now the SWAT will look to reply. But good work there from Tate Farstad, as the SWAT are going to have to fight for every inch of ground they can get in this one. There's a save made by Aiden Pacombe. So Pacombe makes the save, and now the Chill take over possession. For Calgary, this is a team that had a pretty good regular season record of 16-4, lost in the RMLL final against Manitoba, who we will see in this tournament, as the save is made there. No problem for Dirksen. SWAT take over. SWAT, on the other hand, come in as a bit of an underdog in this tournament, but they'll look to maybe stun the Chill here in this opening contest of the 2016 Founders Cup. But right now, the Chill have been relentless with that defense, sticking right on their men. No space right now for the SWAT. Shot clock down to 4. They're going to have to fire. That one misses, and that will do it. Possession will now head on over to the Calgary side. Parker Hughes is going to dish it off now to Joe Gardner, and here's Joe Gardner with the ball. Gardner, right side towards the center, passes it across. Here is Hughes once again into the corner, back up top, and the Chill. Quick movement, trying to free up a man for an open shot. There's the look. There's a shot, and the save was made by Dirksen, who gets plowed over, knocked right through the net. He'll reset it. The other way go the SWAT. Colin Bergloff. He just dishes off to Preston Wutke. And now the SWAT look to get something going. They got to create a little bit of space here. The pass back that was intended for Kalen Curry missed. Dirksen comes out of the goal to play it now. He'll just have to bomb it down the floor as the shot clock was down into the single digits. So the Chill take over. So right now on the offensive side, not a whole lot going for Saskatchewan. As here's a shot, and Dirksen makes a save, rebound. Scooped up and corralled. Picked up there by Mickelstein. And now, deep in their own zone, the SWAT are able to space things out. Going to get the offense out there and try and make something happen. Cole Welter has it. Welter up along the boards. Dishes it off now to Kalen Curry. Curry with the shot. Just missed. Came off the end boards. Bounced into Pacome. Loose ball now in the corner. Battle for it. Chill come away with it. And now they'll take over. Garrett Hughes has it, and Hughes dishes off. So the SWAT got a good look there on the shot from Curry that just missed. He goes to the bench now, and they'll try and regroup and make things happen. Offensive possessions, though, as Katoni danced his way in. But how about that play there from our player to watch, Bryce Dueck? Excellent play there. Katoni, though, continues the battle. 3 seconds to go on the shot clock. Up top, there's a shot from the center. Save was made by Dirksen. Katoni picks up the loose ball, and we got a fresh 30 now for the Chill to work with. Cross floor pass, ends up on the far side. Now up into the center. Dipping and diving, that was Gardner. He tried to play it off and find a loose man, but some good coverage there from the SWAT. They take it away, and now here comes Saskatchewan the other way. As I was saying, it seems like the offensive possessions have gotten a little better here as the SWAT are adjusting to what the Chill are bringing at them on the defensive end, although this time they turn it over there with an errant pass. And now Calgary comes the other way. Keeping a close eye here on the changes, as even we saw with that first goal from Ritchie. Here's a pass across up into the top, and unable to stay on his feet as he took that pass. That was Eccleston. And now here go the SWAT. And this is what we thought we might have to see from the SWAT, and that's going to have to be quick going the other way in transition. Try and catch Calgary napping a little bit during those changes to get maybe a numbers advantage going the other way. Right now, though, they're just unable to really get these passes across. Calgary leads 1-0 here in the first game at the 2016 Founders Cup. 50 seconds in, it was Owen Ritchie. There's a shot. That one was blocked. And feeling the effects of that one is Wyatt Hoax. Now 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and the Chill are able to get it all the way down. Katoni's shot, though, they're going to say was just after the clock had hit 0, and now Saskatchewan will take over. Martin picks up the loose ball, and he has it right now. Tries to feed it in, and that's a few times we've seen that play. Hasn't really worked. Preston Woopke in the corner battling for it, trying to stay on his man. And now the Chill have it. Good pressure here from the Saskatchewan side. I was really battling there. Was Michaelshin. And Calgary now gets the offense set up. Pass comes off the glass and goes right to Katoni. Quick hands there. He scoops it up. Now comes in. There's the shot and he scores. Well, we knew we were going to have to keep a close eye on him. And 6 minutes and 54 seconds into this contest, Tate Katoni picks up his first goal of the 2016 Founders Cup. And it's 2-0 for the Calgary Chill. You'll see here on the replay, Katoni took that pass right off the glass. Quick reaction to pick it up, cuts towards the center, and really kind of catches Dirksen having to watch there on those first couple moves. Really good sweeping action there as he comes across, moving the ball around enough that really Dirksen wasn't quite sure when Katoni was going to fire, and he comes up and over top. So it's a 2-0 lead for the Calgary Chill. And Saskatchewan tried to reply, turned it over once again. And you can see a little bit of frustration coming on the faces of the Saskatchewan SWAT, although it is still early. At the same time, if the offense isn't clicking, you need the defense to come up big. Here's a shot. Dirksen makes the save. Loose ball is going to be picked up by the Calgary Chill as Joe Gardner has it. Here's Gardner with it. Fresh 30 for the Chill to work with. Jake Gillis fires. He missed. Off the rebound, off the M boards. There was some quick reflexes from Spencer Gillis to get a shot away, but Dirksen with the good reaction. Now Dirksen comes up big, got another save there, and the SWAT pick it up, and they'll now try and push it down the floor. And now it looks like they're going to have some numbers. Wide open, in behind everyone there. That was Jenna Nash. Jenna Nash now has it towards the corner. She passes up top. Here's Preston Wootke. Hands it off. Martin with the shot, and that one went over top of the glass into the netting. But the SWAT had a good look there on the transition. A wide open player, and they just missed there. Now here's a chance for Calgary. Dirksen makes the save. Picked up by Rylan Elder. Elder dropping it off for Kalen Curry. Here is Curry. Good step there as he gets around his man, but he'll take a look back and drop it off. Now barreling his way towards the net and getting ragdoll right to the floor. That was Cole Welter, and we're going to have our first penalty of this contest. Dakota Wright is going to head to the box. High sticking will be the call. As we check it out on our replay, Welter just barreling his way through, and you see right there, Wright pretty much just wraps him up, gets the stick right around the mask, and brings him to the floor. So here's that chance we talk about for the SWAT. They're going to have to capitalize when they get their opportunities. There's a shot. Save was made by Picone. And the Chill now send it down the floor, and look at this. We've got another breakaway. But Mackenzie Smith, wisely, he'll hold up. Doesn't get too excited there with that opportunity. Instead, he'll hold up, and wisely so, as the Chill look to just kill off some time shorthanded here. Saskatchewan with the double team. You can now make that a triple team, trying to work the ball free. If they do get it free, they could potentially take this the other way. The Chill calling for a penalty as taking abuse, but continuing to hold on to the ball was Joe Gardner. Excellent work from Gardner. Gets a round of applause. There's a bit of a finger wag from him there as he is fired up, heading back towards the bench. And once again, here's Katoni. Katoni with the shot, and that one missed. Comes off the M boards, picking up the loose ball. The SWAT can't corral, and the keeping possession are the Chill. Jake Gillis has the ball. 45 seconds left in the penalty. To Dakota Wright. Down Main Street, or it looked like an opening down the center for Eccleston. He hands it off, and Jake Gillis has to back up, and then he trying to fire that ball back. Something happened the way it came out. Went right up and it hits the ceiling. So Saskatchewan gets the ball back with the man advantage. 29 seconds left in the penalty. Saskatchewan would love to get one here, but right now they're having their difficulties. Kalen Curry has to go back. 15 seconds left in the penalty to Wright. Curry with the long shot. No problem for Aiden Pincombe as he just swallows that one up. Dakota Wright about to step back out onto the floor in about 5 seconds. So Calgary does a great job. Does a great job on that penalty kill. And we're back to even strength. So all even on the floor here, and Calgary has the ball. Here's the cross pass that missed, picked up by Saskatchewan, and now going for a sprint down the floor. This is Tanner Deck. Deck can't get the shot away. Great defense there as Davis Andrews got back. And now the other way, here go the Chill. The pass up ahead for Andrews was over top of him. He continues to work to pick up that loose ball. Davis Andrews has it, and he's looking, trying to find the open man as he wants to go back to the bench. And so he'll hand it off to Ben Foster. Getting run over there was Tate Katoni as he couldn't get the shot away. The SWAT come the other way, but the change from the Chill is going to block any opportunity here for a quick opportunity for Saskatchewan. Kalen Curry passes it off to Preston Wootke. Now over to Colin Bergloff. Bergloff behind the goal, passes out in front. There was a good look there for Kalen Curry, but Pincombe made the save. Rebound picked up by Curry. Curry behind the goal, passes off to the wing. Here's Kennedy up top, off the bench and picking up the pass. That's Cole Welter. Welter gives it off. Here's Martin. Martin goes behind the back. There's the shot. That one missed. 15 seconds left in the shot clock if the SWAT can pick it up, but they can't. It is picked right up. No problem for Garrett Hughes for the chill. Hughes comes in, and he put it right off the bar. Oh, Garrett Hughes gets a golden opportunity there. The SWAT get bailed out by the post, and now they take over once again. That was definitely their best offensive possession thus far, right before they ended up giving up that breakaway opportunity. So maybe something to build off. Joe Gardner has it now, and the chill will get that offense set up. Seems to run through Katoni, no doubt about that. Here, though, we get a shot fired. That one was sent through by Spencer Gillis. Comes off the end boards. Here's Katoni now with it in the corner. Shot. That one was stopped. Rebound picked up by the chill, and this is where Saskatchewan needs to try and get to those loose balls. Great recoveries here from the chill, getting second and third opportunity chances. There's a shot, and they score! Torrin Eccleston rips that one low. Gets past Dirksen, and it's a 3-0 lead for Calgary. Well, this was about the third opportunity that the chill got on this possession after picking up those loose balls, getting a fresh 30 to work with. And you see Eccleston, that low shot. Tough to pick up for Dirksen there as he was trying to find it, and it gets by him. So a 3-0 lead for Calgary. As the chill and that offense we talked about goes to work once again. So Calgary, there's a move, unable to get a shot away though. That was Ben Foster. Here's Katoni right in the center with the shot up and over top, and the save was made by Dirksen. The SWAT's defense has done a pretty good job here, keeping the chill away from those areas where they're going to get some really clean looks. At the same time, the defense of the chill has really been relentless. Now here's an opportunity for the SWAT. There's the shot, and they score! Well, Saskatchewan gets on the board as Preston Wootke is able to beat Pincombe. And the Saskatchewan bench really likes that. They needed that goal as they are on the board. And again, as I mentioned earlier, it seems to be, though, they're getting a lot more comfortable on the offensive side. Nice dish there from Kalen Curry over to Wootke, and Preston Wootke makes no mistake. And he'll beat Pincombe there on the stick side. So Saskatchewan's on the board. They get a little bit of momentum there. What they're going to need, though, is to shut down the chill here, because the chill, off every draw, are taking the possession, getting that first opportunity. So it's a 3-1 lead here for Calgary. As the pass into the middle, never got to Spencer Gillis, went into the corner, 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Katoni rolls into the center, takes the shot, comes off the end wall. Big save made there off the rebound as Dirksen is able to deny the opportunity for the chill. And Saskatchewan now takes over. Here come the SWAT. Danny Martin with it. Martin dishes over to Preston Wootke. Wootke, he had that goal. Trying to help his team claw back to within one. Shot fired by Ethan Kennedy. Went over top. The rebound was picked up by the SWAT. They get it right back now as Danny Martin has it. Martin looks, finds Nash, but just as the shot clock expired. Calgary with the 3-1 lead. And just under 5 minutes to go here in the opening frame. Looking to restore the 3-goal lead that they did have. Katoni with the nice pass right to the top of the crease. As the opportunity was there for Ben Foster. He got denied. Tries to stick with it here. 2-on-1 battle for the SWAT. Foster comes away with it. Finds the open man, Gardner. Gardner fires and scores! Well, great work there from Ben Foster. Leads to the opportunity, and Joe Gardner makes no mistake. And once again, it's a 3-goal lead for Calgary. Great work there by Foster. Just see it over at the boards. Came away with it, battling 2 Saskatchewan defenders. He finds Joe Gardner. Great heads-up pass there. Gardner comes right down the middle, and he scores. It's 4-1 now for Calgary. And they almost get another great opportunity as they are looking for more. There's the save from Dirksen. Ball rolls over towards the side, scooped up and controlled. Gillis fires it across. The pass back to Gillis. He was unable to pick it up. Now here's a pass ahead, and an opportunity now for Tanner Deck. Deck trying to get around his man. Goes behind the back. Oh, and he put it off the post. That was a wonderful opportunity for Deck. SWAT, though, they do get the rebound. Spinning with it. That was McCloy. There's the shot fired by Nash and spinning around, but keeping it from crossing the line. That was Pincombe. Gardner from Foster. The most recent goal for the Chill, leading 4-1. Here's Gardner, had that goal. Dishes it across. Gonna get it back now, but he can't find the loose ball. Looking for it. Scooped up. Here goes the other way. There's the shot and they score! Michelson is able to put it home as Gardner had troubles finding the loose ball. He was last man back. And the other way go the SWAT, and they make it 4-2 as they claw back to within 2. So a good response there. Great look on the replay as you see Gardner just sliding back, doing whatever he could to potentially break up that opportunity. But Parker Michelson makes the 4-2. So the SWAT back to within 2. And guess what? They come away with the ball here right after that goal. So a chance to potentially maybe get back to within 1. But again, at the same time, just pick up some momentum, pick up some confidence. Trailing here in this one 4-2. Now there's a 2-on-1 opportunity. And a great defense there from Cole Welter as he got back and was able to take away the opportunity for Cody Arsenault. So Calgary with possession as we've got 2 minutes and 12 seconds left here in the opening frame. It's a 4-2 lead for the Chill. They'd love to get that 3-goal lead back, create a little bit of breathing room. They might get a chance here. Here's Katoni in, and he is stopped by Dirksen into the corner, and he just gets barreled over there trying to pick up the loose ball. So possession will stay with the Chill. Bryce Dueck, we talked about his wonderful defense. He's on Katoni. Katoni dishes off, and they score. Joe Gardner once again comes right down the middle and gets a nice clean look and makes no mistake there. Once again, the 3-goal lead has been restored. So Katoni, he can score, he can also dish. Passed off to Gardner there, and Gardner just beats his man. Right off the step there, gets around him on the outside, or towards the inside, I should say. And then he beats Dirksen. 5-2 lead here with 1:54 to go. Cody Arsenault does a great job to win the draw. Passes it off. Here's Joe Gardner. 2 goals on the menu for him thus far. Here's Tate Katoni. Lets the shot go. Tried to go up and over top of the defenders there to let that one go, and it got broken up. Now a pass for a streaking man through the middle, missed, and the SWAT are able to pick it up now. Ball was retrieved there by Wyatt Hoax, and Hoax has it. Gives it off to Danny Martin. Here's Martin with it. Martin spins. 15 seconds to go on the shot clock. SWAT with the ball. Backing down is Arliss McCloy. Passes it across, comes off the boards, picked up by Martin. Now just 5 to shoot. Can the SWAT get something on goal? They do. As the save is made by Pincombe, and Calgary has the ball. Into the final minute here in the first game at the 2016 Founders Cup. Calgary leading Saskatchewan 5-2. 4 games today to kick off the tournament. We've got them all for you right here. That's Calgary looking to get their first 4-goal lead of the game, and they do. Ben Foster puts it home as he gets knocked over into the crease. But as he's falling, is able to get the shot away there, and he scores. Fitting in nicely here with his teammates is Foster. And it's a 6-2 lead for the Chill. Now if you're Saskatchewan here, it's the first time you've been down by 4. And Calgary's going to call timeout as they win that battle, and they come away with the ball. And with the shot clock now turned off, as we were under 30 seconds when that goal was scored, Calgary has a chance now for the final possession. And this is where the defense for Saskatchewan, which has done a pretty good job here in the opening period, is going to need to come up big. First time that they've been down by 4. And Saskatchewan doesn't want to fall down by 5 going into the second. They're trying to just stay in it and keep it close. So we're 25 seconds away from the first break. And Calgary, after that timeout, are ready to go. So Saskatchewan, as I said, their defense has done a nice job. They got to come up big here. You can keep it close and hang around. Couple swings of momentum, and Saskatchewan can get this thing close. Down by 5, though. That's a big gap after 1. So here's Calgary with it. Katoni passes it off over to Gillis. The Chill working it around. Now with just 8 seconds left. Are they going to find that look that they want? Right now, it doesn't appear so. Katoni, though, he can make something happen. He passes off. There it is, and they just miss. As coming across the top of the crease was Jake Gillis off the beautiful feed from Katoni. And he just missed there, but a good look as time expires. And the first period comes to an end. But an excellent period by the Calgary Chill as they jump out to a 6-2 lead here in the opening game of the 2016 Founders Cup. Stick around. Heading into our first intermission. We got the second coming up shortly. Calgary leading Saskatchewan 6-2 at the 2016 Founders Cup here on JVI Sports Network.
Born of the Huron and of the Mohawk, of the wilderness, of strength and endurance. This is Canada. This is lacrosse. Our country, our sport. Canada's national summer sport, lacrosse.
2017 Toronto Rock season tickets are on sale now. Lock in your seat today for as low as $195 and you won't miss a moment of the action. For more information, visit torontorock.com.
One period in the books at the 2016 Founders Cup as the tournament is underway, and it's a great beginning to the 2016 Founders Cup for the Calgary Chill. They lead 6-2 over the Saskatchewan SWAT. A big opening frame as you get a look at some of the action right there. And that's probably how the first period felt for netminder Eric Dirksen, who has been solid in this game. And if he's one of the players that you think should be one of the 3 stars of this morning's first matchup, then let us know. Tweet us with who you think should be the 3 stars of today's game. Make sure to tweet us at JVI Video right there on your screen. Let us know who you think the 3 stars here. We've got plenty of people tuning in. Obviously, we've got folks from Calgary, Alberta, Saskatchewan tuning in for this matchup. But wherever you're watching, thank you for joining us here on the JVI Sports Network for the 2016 Founders Cup. The action all day today. We've got 4 games, all 4 games coming to you free. So make sure you tune in all day. Plus the opening ceremonies this evening. All of that you can catch right here as we launch the 2016 Founders Cup from the Alder Street Arena here in Orangeville, Ontario. Home of the Orangeville Northmen, who will get their tournament underway tonight in the final game of the day as they take on Coquitlam. So both teams now stepping back out onto the floor. And while we do have an opportunity, we'll tee up today's action. 1 period in the books. Calgary up 6-2 over Saskatchewan. After this game, Team Nova Scotia will take on the Green Gales, the Ontario Junior B runner-up. And then Manitoba and Seneca, followed by Coquitlam and Orangeville. Don't forget, the opening ceremonies will take place right before that contest. So we've got you covered completely here on JVI for today's action and all week long at the 2016 Founders Cup. Well, we knew Calgary had a pretty talented offense coming into this tournament. We certainly got to see it there. At the same end, their defense just relentless. They stayed right all over Saskatchewan, who really, if you're adding up the good scoring chances in that first period, easily 2-1 for Calgary. And that's not just because they had the ball all along. Good defense from the Chill. Some good net minding from Aiden Pincombe. All around, it's a good first for the Calgary Chill. We now start the second. And Saskatchewan, you know they would love to get one early here, try and build up some confidence, get some momentum here in the second frame. But Calgary, once again, as they've done all day so far, they come away with that first possession. Top of the crease, there's a shot. That one went off the post into the corner. Katoni now trying to retrieve the loose ball, and Katoni got leveled, and we're going to have a penalty coming up. Saskatchewan's going to get their first penalty of the game, as after the whistle, Katoni just got flattened in the corner. It looks like we've actually got 2 penalties coming up. So there was an initial penalty going against Saskatchewan. Let's see if we can figure this out. Here was the great opportunity in front. There's the first penalty coming up. There was the hit dished out by Colin Bergloff. And then in the corner there, you see right there, Katoni gets flattened by Hoax. Bergloff and Hoax are both in the box. 5-on-3 is what it'll be, as not the start that Saskatchewan wanted to this opening frame, or to the second period, we should say, because right now they're going to have to come up huge with Calgary having a 2-man advantage for 2 full minutes. And actually, in fact, that first penalty, which was going against Bergloff, is a 4-minute penalty. So 2-man advantage for the Calgary Chill, and they will try to make Saskatchewan pay. Lots of space there. There's the shot. Quick cross crease was denied. Save was made by Dirksen. Off the post again. That's PJ Gardner. Got a good look there. Now battle for a loose ball in the corner. Tying up his man. That's Liam McMaster, but coming away with it are the Chill. The pass over to Joe Gardner didn't click, so he has to pick it up off the bounce. Here's a shot. Save was made by Dirksen, and it's kept out in the crease. So now Saskatchewan has an opportunity to run it down the floor. They got to get across the line here, and they're unable to. 10 seconds is the call. Oh, when you're down 2 men, not a lot of opportunities to really get it down the floor, as the numbers advantage is certainly in effect for the Chill. There's a save, rebound, picked up now, trying to get to it. That is Gillis. Jake Gillis comes away with it. Up top, dishes off. There's a chance now down along the side, rolling into the center. There was the shot fired. That one's by Eccleston, but Eccleston got denied. Now he passes it cross crease, comes off the boards in the corner, bounces out in front, and it is picked up by the SWAT, but unable to move it down the floor was Liam McMaster. Had a man draped all over him, turns it over, and now here's the Chill. There was the shot fired by Spencer Gillis that missed. Loose ball, rolls now over into the corner. Just 15 seconds left in the first penalties of Saskatchewan, but then they're going to have to kill off another whole 2 minutes. However, they will get a man back on the floor. It'll be 5-on-4. Here's a shot, and there's the save. Dirksen doing a great job helping his team here as they're trying to kill off the penalty, and they kill off the first penalty. Shot clock expires, and Saskatchewan will take possession. So back on the floor for Saskatchewan, that's Wyatt Hoax. Colin Bergloff still in the box for another 2 minutes, but so far, so good. You talk about trying to build up momentum in this sport, and now we're going to have a penalty going to Calgary. It'll be a slashing call, a slash right across the shin. Takes down the Saskatchewan player. Unable to see what number that is at the moment, but obviously in plenty of discomfort. Looks like that's Tanner Deck on the floor for the Saskatchewan SWAT. Slashing will be the call going against Calgary. But as I was mentioning, to build up momentum, a great penalty kill will get your team fired up. There's the first whack, but it's going to be this one right there, right across the shin. And in the box is Garrett Hughes. So Hughes goes off 2 minutes for slashing. And you can see it was that quick stop by Tanner Deck where he planted the right foot to sort of juke back to the left, is where Hughes, who already had the stick going in motion, had to sort of change the direction and comes right across the legs. That does not feel good for Tanner Deck. We'll get another look at it right here. Deck now back to his feet. Watch right here where he's just going to sort of stop. And when he stops here and tries to come back, that's where you can see Hughes, instead of coming across with the stick, kind of slows it down under. He gets Deck right along the shin. So Tanner Deck's off. He's now kind of down in the hallway, but it looks like he's going to stick around. Doesn't feel good, but at the same time, he draws the penalty, and it's 4 runners aside now. So the ball's going to go up and out of play. Chill will take over possession. So Saskatchewan has done a nice job here to start, limiting the opportunities for Calgary, getting some good net minding from Dirksen, and all their penalty killers doing their best. And right now, with it all even, they'll try and still shut down Katoni, who takes the shot. There was the save. Race for the loose ball. Katoni, obviously, he's the first one there. He's all over the place. Long shot, misses up and over top. Loose ball, picked up by Saskatchewan. Running it back now behind his own crease. That is to Pism, and now he just sends it down the floor. Calgary gets possession, and we've got 50 seconds left in the penalty on the board to Colin Bergloff. Here's a shot that missed. That ball's going to go right down the floor with 15 seconds left in the shot clock. Still enough time for Calgary to potentially make something happen here. However, they're going to have to do it from deep in their own end. PJ Gardner comes up to center. Long pass up. 3 seconds to shoot. There was the look for Katoni. They got it to him. He got denied by Dirksen. 20 seconds left of the penalty to Bergloff, and then it'll be a very short, about a 21-second power play for the Saskatchewan SWAT. Here's Danny Martin. Martin goes across, trying to get it to Nash. Loose ball comes right back over to Martin. So it returns right to where it came from. Goes right back to Martin. Him and Nash dish it across. Nash lets it go, and back on the floor is Bergloff. It's now a power play for the SWAT. 15 seconds left in it. Can they get something going here? But you're going to see it right there. They turn it over, and now Calgary has an opportunity just to kill off the remaining 5 seconds in the Hughes penalty. So Garrett Hughes about to step back out, and he does. So we're all even here now. Almost 5 minutes gone in the second. Katoni scores. Oh, a nice dish from Jake Gillis to find Katoni in front, and that was more than enough time for him to make something happen, and he scores. So just as we get back to all even, that's when the Chill are able to strike. Couldn't get anything on that 5-on-3, but right there, Katoni, not the tallest player in the world, just sort of slips in unannounced. Nobody on the SWAT is able to pick him up, and he scores. So multiple goals in this game for Katoni. It's a 7-2 lead here for the Calgary Chill. So Saskatchewan trying to stay within calling distance here of the Chill. Trail by 5. Loose ball is unable to be corralled by the SWAT, and now here the Chill get an opportunity. Pass into the corner intended for Katoni. Katoni can't come away with it, but look at this. He's going to get right all over his man. Chris Lukash was able to come away with it. Went over to Colin Bergloff. Bergloff passes it up ahead over to Michelson. Passing towards the middle. Comes off the boards, picked up, and no problem. That one's scooped up, corralled by Davis Andrews, who sends it down the floor, and it's going to bounce into the crease. Chill can't come away with it, and here's Dirksen. Dirksen with the bounce pass, just turns it over. A little bit of a careless play there. Didn't see anything he liked, tried to give it to the man closest to him, and instead it goes right to the Chill. Cody Arsenault, he doesn't have anything there. Instead, he's happy just to head to the bench and let his offense step out and do the work. Joe Gardner gets his feet tangled up there for a second, regroups. His pass, though, for the intended target down low misses, and running it down the floor, this is Arliss McCloy. McCloy passes it over to Martin. Martin looked like he maybe had a shooting lane, but he wants to cut across, and he scores! Well, that worked out for Danny Martin. Didn't take that initial lane, and instead he works his way across the left-hand shot, moves across, fires it back to where he came from, and he scores. So there's Saskatchewan's first of the second. We check it out on the replay. McCloy finds Martin off the bench, and you see right there, it looked like he maybe had a chance to shoot. Instead, he cuts right across to the left side, moving around his man, and he's able to beat Picombe. And there you go. Saskatchewan's on the board here in the second. 7-3 the score for Calgary. So this is a much better period so far for Saskatchewan, as they now look to get back to within 3. Here's Martin again. Didn't have a chance to shoot, and instead gives it off to Kaylin Curry. Saskatchewan will let things set up. Pass off to Jenna Nash. Went by and goes down the floor. 15 seconds left. On the shot clock now, just down to 10. And Dirksen is just going to send it down the floor. Gives it away to Calgary. Take Katoni. Passes it off. Long shot missed. Picked up by Parker Hughes. Back to Katoni. He takes the shot and it bounces up and out of play. And we got a too many men penalty coming up. Too many players on the floor for Saskatchewan. They had 6 out there. The official picks up on it just as Katoni took the shot. And now Calgary goes back to the man advantage. They were unable to click earlier. 0 for 3 in this period on the power play. But with a 4-goal lead, you don't want to give them any opportunities if you're Saskatchewan. Pass across, came off the boards, was intended for Joe Gardner. Chill maintained possession. Here's Gillis. Double eights, passes off to Katoni. He goes to Hughes. There's a shot fired by Hughes. Blocked, comes back out to Katoni. Katoni at the top, he let that one go. It just missed wide, picked up by Saskatchewan. And now here is an opportunity for Brandon Bolak. Bolak ran it down the floor, and now he can stop. He's going to have the Chill start to zone in on him. Here comes the double team. What's Bolak going to do? He tries to split the two defenders, tries to go wide, and good work by Bolak. Here's Bolak right down Main Street. The Chill swarm in on him. Finally are able to knock it loose, but good work by Bolak. And just like that, only 50 seconds remain in the power play for the Calgary Chill. Jake Gillis over to Parker Hughes, back over to Gillis. They're going to play a little bit of a game of catch on their own, and now they free up Hughes for the shot, and the save was made by Dirksen. So just those quick passes back and forth kind of get the defense watching for a second, and that's when Hughes is able to slide ahead. We're going to have a timeout for water now, as Dirksen, who's been, without a doubt, the busier of the two goaltenders in this contest, he's going to get a break. As Calgary has had plenty more opportunities, a lot more shots. But Saskatchewan doing their best to try and hang in there. As you get a look at Aiden Picombe, he'll take an opportunity to grab a quick drink, and he'll head back to his crease. Picombe and his Chill leading 7-3. Dirksen now back in the crease, and we're just about set to continue on here. So 7-3 lead for Calgary. Here in the first game at the 2016 Founders Cup. While we have a moment, we remind you to stick around. We got 3 more games coming up today, including our next matchup to begin at 2 o'clock Eastern time between Team Nova Scotia and the Green Gales. Oh, shut off there, but continuing to move his feet. That's Tanner Deck. Good balance there to come right back down. And he continues on, and then he gets run over. Deck, who took that slash earlier and felt it on his shin, hobbles off after just getting bulldozed there, running it down the floor. Although he takes that big hit, he does a nice job, killed off a bit of time, and now about to step back out on the floor. That is Chris Lukash. All even. And we saw last time when we got back to all even, that's when the Chill were able to strike. Running down the floor, calling for a long pass. That was Liam McMaster. Wasn't there at the moment, so Parker Michelson will pass it up ahead. Here's Nash. Nash spins, but it's swiped right out of the stick. Picked up by Joe Gardner. Here goes Gardner, already with 2 in the game, and he puts it up and over top. Just missed there. Golden opportunity to pick up his 3rd. Saskatchewan now comes away with the loose ball. Colin Bergloff has to wheel in behind the goal, into the corner. Gets a little help there, a little bit of separation. Passed it off, spinning with it. Here is McCloy. McCloy takes it right into the crease. He got stopped by Picombe. Long shot. That one was blocked. Picked up now by Colin Bergloff again. Dishes it off. Gives it off to Cole Welter. Welter has his man staying right with him, closely guarding him. Now up to Bergloff again. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. No rush just yet. There's Nash with the shot. Didn't come through cleanly. Missed the goal. Picked up by the Chill. And we could have another break for the Calgary Chill. Bounce pass. Sent up ahead to Cody Arsenault. Finally controls. Saskatchewan does a good job transitioning, getting back. And now Calgary, who has that long change as well right now, are able to get the offensive weapons out there. And here's a perfect opportunity right down the middle for Jake Gillis, but he put it off the bar. Ball now heads down the floor, and it's going to be picked up there by Aiden Pincombe. So now the 30-second shot clock begins, and lots of time for Calgary to make something happen. Here's Katoni. Passes it off, and they score. Jake Gillis and Katoni worked that play to perfection, freeing up the open man. Katoni dishes it off, and no mistake made there by Jake Gillis. And the 5-goal lead is back for Chill. They lead 8-3. You see it on the replay here. The two Saskatchewan defenders peel off towards Katoni, and swinging off to the other side is Gillis, who takes that pass, does a nice job there, just steps in front of his man, frees himself up, and he scores. 8-3 now the lead for the Chill. And you're seeing why Tate Katoni was our player to watch. Several points in this contest already. On the season, we mentioned off the top, he had 89 points in the regular season. 51 of those were assists. Katoni and Hughes pick up the assists on Gillis's goal. An 8-3 lead, 8:40 to go in the second. Saskatchewan trying to get back to within 4, and here's the opportunity for Welter. He hit the post, picked up by the Chill, and now we got a breakaway. Picked up by Mackenzie Smith. Off to Katoni, and he scores! Take Katoni right on cue. Make it a 9-3 lead for the Chill. So take Tony. 51 assists on the season. How about 38 goals? And he's got another one in this contest. No mistake. Saskatchewan desperately needs to get something going offensively. Not going to happen there when you get 3 Chill players right on their man. However, we're going to have a penalty coming up. High sticking the call, and Eric Peltier heads to the box. I said Saskatchewan needs to get something going offensively. They're going to get an opportunity here now. Shot misses. The target, loose ball. Going to be picked up by McCloy was there, but getting to it, that was Kalen Curry. Nash passes it into the corner. Back up top for Curry. Curry finds the man. Letting that one go was Preston Wootke, and Wootke's shot missed. Slapped down the floor there by Dirksen. Shot clock expires. Now Calgary with it. And this is where Saskatchewan got into a bit of trouble on their last power play. They just couldn't get it away from the Chill once the Chill got it down the floor. They were able to eat up a ton of time, and right there, Saskatchewan had an opportunity to get to a loose ball, and right now it just gets batted around. The Chill do a good job there. Saskatchewan, though, they come away with it a lot earlier than that last power play. Minute and 5 seconds left, and good work there to split away from several defenders by Braylon Fournette. We got another penalty coming up to Calgary. So with that, it's a 2-man advantage at the moment for the SWAT. Picked up, 5 seconds. There's the shot, they score! Kalen Curry with the little spin shot that gets past Pincombe just as the shot clock was about to expire, and that's a power play goal. You'll see right here, delayed penalty coming up, right down off the left side of your screen. There was Kalen Curry, just comes in, and he takes the pass and he fires it underneath. So the officials just sorting out what happens now with that delayed penalty. Eric Peltier comes out of the box. And he's just replaced instead by Torrin Eccleston. Eccleston now in the box, and Saskatchewan, who got the power play goal they needed. We said they needed to capitalize on their offensive opportunities. They've got a goal, and they've got another 2 minutes to work with of man advantage. Right here, this is a big draw. White stepped in, and now it'll be Calgary ball. So the Chill will try and eat up some clock here. With Katoni out there, they've even got a great opportunity to potentially put one in shorthanded. Katoni trying to free himself up. He does get open eventually. Now he takes the pass. SWAT trying to circle in on him. Two players looking at him, but Katoni still has it. Gets back towards the boards, and his pass out in front. Just missed Gillis. Ball up into the air, and Saskatchewan can't come away with the ball just yet. Sweeping in to help him out was McMaster. McMaster got it. McMaster goes right up and over top of his man. Brings it down the floor, and the Chill, who ate up about 35 seconds of that penalty, now come back into their own zone and will set up. The four runners out there, as here are the SWAT, and the SWAT turn it over. Pass went up and out of play. Good effort there by Davis Andrews. He dove up with the stick, brings down that loose ball, lost the stick, regroups, recovers, and he has it. Over to Katoni now. 50 seconds left. Eccleston got a slashing penalty. And that's not going to matter because the Chill strike. They're up into the double digits now. It's a 10-4 lead. Short-handed goal put home by P.J. Gardner. As you get a look on the replay, just a little bit of space right there at the top of the crease is all that the Chill need, and they're able to strike. And Saskatchewan's now made a goaltending change as Evan Bolak is in goal. 10-4 lead for the Chill, who have really taken it to Saskatchewan in this one so far. Evan Bolak now the netminder for the SWAT. Right now he's watching his team down at the other end on the offense, so on a power play. There's a shot that hit the bar and went up and out of play. Ball stays with the SWAT. Here's Nash. Passes it over to Curry. Kalen Curry up top with the long shot. Just missed the goal. Pincombe is going to have to reset here because here's another chance for Curry, and there's the save. No problem by Pincombe as he knocks it into the corner. Shot clock resets. We're all even. Here's Ethan Kennedy. Kennedy. The SWAT with the long shot there. That one misses. And ever since they made this net mining change with Evan Bolak in goal, they've had the ball down at the other end. He hasn't even been tested just yet, as his team does a good job. Shot clock, though, about to expire. Off the boards, there's a shot. That one was blocked, and it's going to expire now. And now Calgary will move to the offense. And we're going to have a break for the netminders to grab some water. 10-4 the lead for the Calgary Chill with 4:28 to go in the second period. There's a look at Evan Bolak. Comes in to replace Eric Dirksen, who was peppered with shots throughout the first 20, I should say 35 minutes, 34 minutes of this contest. Bolak will come in and just try to spark his team a little bit, shake things up. Doesn't hurt at all when you've got a bit of a deficit the size of 6 goals to try and claw back from. Here's a pass right in front. Katoni takes the shot and he just missed. Missed there. And it's picked up by the SWAT. Almost turned over. Heads up play there to come out and help by Bolak as he tried to knock it away. The Chill, though, still come away with the ball. Closely watched is Ben Foster. Foster passes it across crease, gets it back there. A little bit of a give and go type of play. Just didn't click. Here's a shot that missed, and it comes into the crease. It's picked up by the SWAT. Passed ahead, and it's going to bounce into their own bench. Well, you get the feeling that if you're Saskatchewan and you're trailing by 6 goals, you're trying maybe a little too hard to make things happen. Rushing plays a little bit when they do see their offensive chances as Bolak makes the save. As soon as they pick up that loose ball, they've really tried to send things down the floor as away from the play. Lukash upended Katoni, so that's why we get the change of possession back over to the Chill. Katoni trying to find the loose ball. Oh, and he gets cross-checked down to the floor. And once again, just another change of the possession will stick with the Chill, but they get a fresh 30. Bolak makes the save. And Saskatchewan. This is where you just need someone to sort of settle things down. Bring it down the floor. Come down, calm, cool, and collected. You need to make sure that your passes connect because right there it's a turnover. But if you just kind of slow the game down and bring it down the floor, set things up and look for your own opportunities. Here come the Chill, though, 3-on-1. Shot misses and goes out of play. Colin Bergloff now. This will be the chance for the SWAT to come down the floor. The offense should be able to get set up here. Although the Chill right there stay with their men. Bergloff almost deceived them. Here's Kalen Curry. Curry back to Bergloff and the pass missed. That has been killer here today for the Chill. Plenty of turnovers. I should say it's been killer for the SWAT as it's allowed the Chill to get plenty of opportunities off those turnovers. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the second period. It's a 10-4 lead. 6-2 game after 1. So the Chill outscoring Saskatchewan 4-2 here in the second, which on the scoreboard has been a better period here for Saskatchewan than the first was. Loose ball, diving for it. Excellent play there. Made by Gardner. Long shot, they score! Oh, falling away from the goal and way from outside. That was PJ Gardner who puts it home. Here's the replay as you check it out. Look at that diving effort there from Joe Gardner. As he knocked that loose ball in towards the corner. Got picked up by PJ Gardner, who just lets that shot go as he's getting hit from a long distance, and he's able to beat Bolak. Now the other way, right off the faceoff. Here come the Chill right in. As you see that goal once again. 11-4 the lead for Calgary, and here's Katoni with it. Katoni splits right through, walks in, and he scores. Oh, he really picks his spots well. Saw he was going to have a chance just to beat everybody and come right down Main Street. Walks in and he scores. Here it is. Watch Katoni here. Gets a little bit of the help there from his teammate. But that's all he needs. Just that little bit of space. 12-4 now the lead. And the Chill, well, they want more. Here the SWAT going the other way. Long pass down the floor. Hits the target. That's Danny Martin, and Martin has it now. Martin spins. Right on him, though, is Owen Ritchie. Now passed off to Kalen Curry. Curry takes a few whacks, continues to move along. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. He's pushed down into the corner. Got to get something towards the goal. He passes across, and the shot clock will expire. Picked up now by the Chill, and the Chill quickly push it down the floor. However, the pass didn't quite get to the right target at first, but Arsenault sticks with it. He scores! Oh, the bounces are really going Calgary's way. The long pass down the floor to Arsenault. He couldn't take it cleanly. However, he's able to get by his man, pick up that loose ball, and he scores. There you see on the replay, just quick foot speed there to get to that ball. Puts it home. As after that goal, we get a few words exchanged between the SWAT and the Chill near the bench area. Frustration starting to show from Saskatchewan. Hard battle here for that ball. And the SWAT, they win the battle and they have it now. 15 seconds left in the period, so shot clock's off. This should be the last possession. Instead, Saskatchewan turns it over. Now 10 seconds left. Down the floor. It's going to go right in on goal. Bolak picks it up. 5 seconds left now. And he'll send it behind and let time expire. Well, it's another big period for the Calgary Chill as they put up 7 here in the second frame. And they lead 13-4 after 40 minutes. So the Chill head into the third with a big lead. Saskatchewan's going to try their best to chip away at it. So stick around. We got the third period coming up as it's a 13-4 lead for the Calgary Chill here at the opening game at the 2016 Founders Cup in Orangeville.
Born of the Huron and of the Mohawk, of the wilderness, of strength and endurance. This is Canada. This is lacrosse. Our country, our sport. Canada's national summer sport, lacrosse.
2017 Toronto Rock season tickets are on sale now. Lock in your seat today for as low as $195 and you won't miss a moment of the action. For more information, visit torontorock.com.
And welcome back, everybody. We are moments away from getting going with the third period of play between the Calgary Chill and Saskatchewan SWAT. Once again, we remind you to let us know who you think the 3 stars of today's game have been. Tweet us with your 3 stars to @JVI Video. Let us know what you think. Plenty of candidates for the Calgary Chill. Several players with multiple goals. So let us know who you think should be the 3 stars. And for the Calgary Chill, they scored 6 in the first, 7 in the second. Here is one of them by Cody Arsenault, who got to that loose ball and was able to put it home. It's a 13-4 lead for the Calgary Chill as we get ready to start the third. While it's a big deficit for Saskatchewan, you would think, though, that they're going to give a pretty fighting effort right to the end here. At the same time, it's the first game of the tournament. A lot to be said in the first game for any team at a tournament. You want to set the tone. You want to make an impression. If you're Saskatchewan, battling to the end, trying to claw back into this one, keep it close, that's a good impression to make. Let the other teams know that you're not going to go away quietly. And if you're Calgary, well, boy, you just want to keep piling on here. Send a loud message to the rest of the teams in this tournament that you are a force to be reckoned with. So we'll start the third here. 13-4 the lead for the Calgary Chill. And we get a good battle here to start. Loose ball, though, is going to be corralled and picked up by the Calgary Chill. Pass down into the corner. Here is Katoni. Was looking to find somebody open. Just kind of got a jam up of players there just to the left side of the crease. And now here go the SWAT going for a run down the floor. This is Colin Bergloff. Bergloff tried to protect the ball, kept it as far away from the defender as he could, but it gets knocked out of his stick. Didn't really have a good grip on it, and it's picked up by the Chill. Joe Gardner with the ball is going to pass it across as this offense for Calgary gets set up. And you can see they really do a good job freeing up an open man, creating space to allow them to get the good looks that they've had. In the corner right now, this ball is batted around, and Evan Bolak, the netminder, is able to scoop it up. So Saskatchewan gets possession. We're going to have a slashing penalty right in front of the bench. Saskatchewan is going to be shorthanded here as Levi Topizum goes to the box. Slashing, the call happened off just to the front of the bench for Saskatchewan, away from the ball. Can't be taking on discipline penalties like that, especially trailing by a big margin. Here's Katoni. He's right up in the center here. He's going to be able to create a shooting lane there. Finally lets it go, but he missed. It comes down the floor. 20 seconds gone in this power play, which means this shot clock is about to expire. 5 seconds left in it. Here's a look for Gillis, and it went right off the left shin of Bolak, so the rebound is picked up. Fresh 30 to work with for Calgary, and they quickly fire. Shot was ripped there by Parker Hughes, and it's going to bounce all the way back out towards center. Picked up by Hughes. He passes it off now to Katoni. Katoni to Hughes, into the corner now. Worked around. Here's Jake Gillis. Gillis, a lot of players crashing towards the top of the crease there, creating a little bit of confusion. The long shot was fired by P.J. Gardner. Save was made by Bolak. Topizum's in the box. 50 seconds left in his penalty as the SWAT try to chew up as much time as possible here. Spinning and taking a couple cross checks there, but trying to stick with it. That was a good effort there by Wyatt Hawks. Hawks in a strong battle there as he exchanges words heading off the floor with an opponent. 13-4 lead. Power play here for the Chill. 20 seconds left in the power play. And here's Katoni behind the back dish. There's the shot, and they score. Katoni puts it on a platter for Torrin Eccleston. And Eccleston rips it home. And just watch the replay here. This is how this day's been going for the Chill. Here's Katoni. Takes a look around and just going to dish off behind the back to Eccleston. And you see right there, he's got a bit of space. As the defender right in front of him is more than a stick's length away, unable to really close in on him. And that allows Eccleston to put it home. Power play goal. It's 14-4 now for the Chill. Danny Martin has it. Passed up ahead. Pass doesn't click. Picked up by the Chill. Curry, who was trying to get that ball away for the SWAT, slipped, and we've seen a few players slip here today. Here's Katoni once again. Right side, lets it go. His left shot there just missed on the short side. He picks it up. Now he's going to work towards the center, sends it back across, trying to put it home on the stick side there, past Bolak, and that loose ball is picked up, but just as the shot clock expires. And Saskatchewan's going to turn it over once again. And really, that has been their Achilles heel here today, and that's just being unable to complete passes. When you're going up against a high-powered offense like Calgary, you got to take away their time, take away how many number of opportunities they're going to get. And when you're turning it over just 5 seconds into the shot clock, it turns into a long, long period. And that's what we're seeing right now as Calgary works it around. There's a sharp angle shot. That one was stopped, and it is picked up. So Saskatchewan trying to run it down the floor. 4.5 gone here in the third. Arliss McCoy, well, he took a whack, and he really felt that one. He is in some agony as he's trying to get to the loose ball, and then he gets upended right in front of the bench. Saskatchewan maybe looking for a penalty. Here's Cody Arsenault in, and he scores. So quite a breakdown there. As Arsenault is able to pick up that loose ball in front of the Saskatchewan bench, goes in untouched, and he puts it home. 15-4 now the lead. Here's Arsenault. You see him cutting in there. Just keeps on moving. And really, Bolak's guessing when he's finally going to release. And doesn't really step across there too much. A lot of room there on the short side. And Arsenault makes no mistakes. Now Saskatchewan trying to work that ball away from the Chill. And the Chill just continuing to take it to them. Here's Joe Gardner. Take Katoni now with it. Katoni fires and he scores. Beats Bolak on the stick side there. Wasn't too much room, but he finds it. And right now, the Calgary Chill are sending a message to the rest of the teams in this tournament. We'll check it out on the replay. And Katoni lets this go from a good distance, but perfect placement on that shot. As he gets it home, tucks it just past the post, and it's 16-4. Well, this Calgary Chill team, talked about it earlier, had a really good season. 16-4 in the regular season. They go into the playoffs, get to the final. In the final four there of the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League, they squared off against the Manitoba Blizzard, a team they had beaten earlier, and they fell 8-6. But overall, pretty good season. Lands them here at the Founders Cup, where they look to win the national championship. And right now, this is the way you want to start a tournament. Excited to see, though, later on what Manitoba can do, as they have defeated this Calgary Chill team before. Nash holds on to the stick, trying to get to it, as the loose ball is picked up by the Chill. Gillis has the ball. Passed it across. And away from the play. Get a bit of an infraction there, so the turnover of possession by the Chill as the SWAT will take over. When you're looking at the leading scorers on the year for the Calgary Chill, Tate Katoni, we mentioned 89 points on the season. Joe Gardner, 65 points. Right behind him was Jake Gillis at 62. 3 offensive weapons. Tough to contain for Saskatchewan as they turn it over, and now here's an opportunity down the floor for Calgary. Looks like it could be a 2-on-1, but instead, no, the Chill, they're not going to press it right there. They'll instead set up, and they'll just bring it back. And they get Katoni out there, who takes the pass. He's now going to dish it off to Gillis. Gillis goes cross crease, diving across. He was denied. Bolak made the save. Ball goes into the corner, and it is controlled by the Chill. Gardner pushes his way towards his man, doesn't get a good look, passes it off. There was the shot by Ben Foster that was stopped. Ball into the corner. PJ Gardner on his man, coming in to help his Foster. But the SWAT getting some good work done there by Wyatt Hawks. Hawks knocks over his man after he lost it, and the possession now will stay down at this end of the floor as Calgary will continue. Here's Katoni with it. Really fast player. There's the shot fired underneath by Eccleston. It was stopped. Kicks way out there. Katoni over to Gardner. Here's Gardner spinning in towards the crease. Lost the ball, picked up there by Bolak. And now Saskatchewan will take over. And it's a turnover. That's out of the goal. Here's a goal for the Chill. They were changing up the netminders on the fly. And they turned it over at center and running right down where the Chill to make no mistake. We're going to get a timeout for the floor to be wiped, but boy, Saskatchewan, not a lot's going their way. Evan Bolak was gone to the bench. Eric Dirksen running back out there, and Dirksen can't get back in time. Here's a look on the replay, and you'll see right here, that loose ball gets picked up, comes over to Owen Ritchie, and running back is Dirksen trying to do his best. And Ritchie, whose eyes lit up like a Christmas tree when he saw that opportunity, puts it home. That's a pair of goals for him on the afternoon, which is now into the afternoon here in Orangeville, about 12:40 local time. If you're a Calgary Chill fan, it's been a pretty good morning, that's for sure. With this big lead now at 17-4, you can imagine both teams already looking ahead to what they have coming up in this tournament. As they clean the floor, we'll take a look outside here at Orangeville, Ontario, at the host site here of the 2016 Founders Cup, home of the Orangeville Northmen, and lacrosse hotbed, to say the least, located here in South Central Ontario. Population of just over 30,000, and they love the lacrosse here. No doubt about that. If you're joining us, never been to Orangeville before, wondering about it, very nice spot. As right now we remind you to let us know the 3 stars of the game. Let us know who you think should be the 3 stars. And tweet us at JVI Video. And don't be afraid to let us know what you think of the games. Give us your thoughts. Always love to hear it. You can follow me on Twitter at Mark14McKelvey. As we get action back underway. Now Saskatchewan trying to get an offensive opportunity. Bouncing ball picked up there by McCloy. Here's Arliss McCloy, knocked out of his stick. And look out, going the other way now. That was Garrett Hughes. Hughes finally controls, passes it out in front, was trying to get Arsenault, goes into the corner, and it's picked up by Mackenzie Smith. Calling for it, and now receiving. That's Joe Gardner, who's going to bounce pass it over to Katoni. Under 11 minutes to go here in the final period. 17-4 the lead for Calgary. Here's Katoni. Didn't shoot right away, decides to continue trying to find an open man. Passed it across, ball bounces over towards the boards. Loose ball, not going to matter, shot clock expires. So the SWAT will take over.
Maybe I should be listening to the play-by-play. Are you doing play-by-play?
Thank you. So Saskatchewan with the ball. Trying to bring it down the floor. Again, it's a point I've brought up multiple times here, and that's just about creating some confidence, creating some momentum, and we're going to have a penalty coming up. Holding will be the call, and it's going to go against Calgary. For Saskatchewan, not the start you wanted, but for some of the players, again, you're individuals, and everyone's got a bit of pride. Everyone wants to do well, especially at a national championship, so you have to think, a few of these players out here right now, they're really gunning to make something happen. Get on the scoreboard. Want to see their name on a score sheet at a national championship. Here's a chance in front, and that's a good chance. McComb makes the save, and it squeezed through his legs, but rolls out the other side of the crease, and it's picked up by the Chill. Now with it is Mackenzie Smith. Smith double teamed right along the boards. And we're going to get a lot of bodies converging on that spot. Picked up by the Chill, however. Shorthanded opportunity. Will they take it to the net? The pass across to Gillis. Bounces past them and over towards the boards. Gillis hustles to it. Can't split two SWAT defenders, but look at that. Ball slips out of his stick. Bounces right over to an open man. That being Ben Foster. Joe Gardner now. He's about to have two players zone in on him. So he passes it diagonally right into the corner. Bouncing ball comes up right back over to Joe Gardner, who puts it in front. And up and over top, trying to slide it home, was Mackenzie Smith. Went off the crossbar, and the Chill continue just to eat away at the clock. Here is Mackenzie Smith. And the captain of the Calgary Chill stands there towards center, watching him closely. That is Brendan Bolak. Bolak trying to hold on to Smith, but Smith, tough to contain, slips by him. Got a shot on net, and the save was made by Eric Dirksen. Down the floor, Wyatt Hawks has it. Hawks is going to pass it off now to Preston Wutke. Here's Jenna Nash. She fires and scores. Nash with the shot is able to beat Pincombe, and there is a power play goal for the Saskatchewan SWAT. And you talk about trying to build up some confidence for yourself going through the tournament. Scoring one will definitely give you a little boost. And here it is on the replay with Nash letting that shot go. Sort of wraps it around Cripps and then past Pincombe. And it is a power play goal for the Saskatchewan SWAT. 17-5 is the lead for the Chill. Obviously a big deficit, but Saskatchewan won't go away quietly here. Although there were several moments there just before that goal where really nothing was going right for Saskatchewan. Here's Katoni, and that shot's going to go off the mask. Now, almost a turnover by the SWAT, but they'll get away with that one. The SWAT on the offense. Boy, check out that defense coming from Garrett Hughes. Hughes staying right all over his man, that being Bergloff, who's trying to stay on his feet. Danny Martin lost it there. and shot clock expires. Joe Gardner with the ball. He's going to drop it off now and leave it. Here's the cross floor pass. Katoni with the fake, comes into the center, and he scores. Boy, tough to contain is an understatement. He just dances his way around and puts it home. We go to the replay to check out this latest goal from Katoni on the right side of your screen there. And again, with his size, we mentioned not the biggest player, but with his size, he's able to get really low and just sort of come up underneath the arms of the defender who reaches out to try and get him. He can get in tight on his man and really just slide around him. And again, very fast player, very quick feet. You saw it on display there. One thing, if you're Saskatchewan, your defense is trying to do their best to slow down these offensive weapons. One thing that seems to happen, though, is Saskatchewan just seems to be backing in a lot. A lot of room out there, whereas Calgary on the defense comes towards the ball, keeping the SWAT really far to the outside. You're seeing it right here. Nice spin move there by Nash. Nash got an open man in the corner, and he'll dish it off. Now up top, trying to shoot while taking that pass was Preston Wootke, and the loose ball as Nash gets run over there. Was going to be picked up by the Chill. Instead, it'll now stay down at this end with the SWAT. Shot, save was made. The rebound picked up by Arsenault, stripped right out of his stick. And the loose ball, though, gets batted around a few times. Picked up by Nash, who spins away from the check, but then gets hit anyways. Still a good effort there. With the ball is McCloy. Arliss McCloy takes a stick right underneath the mask. Maybe could have been a call there as the shot misses. And now the SWAT trying to take a little bit of frustration as they tried to lay a big hit in there, but the Chill come away with it. The Tony has the ball, and there you go. From nothing to something, from a standstill, he gets going pretty quick. Passes it to PJ Gardner into the corner. With it now, Joe Gardner back up top to PJ. Lets a long shot go, and the save was made, but we got a penalty coming up. Holding will be the call. And it looks like the penalty is going against the Calgary Chill. Thought the Chill maybe could have got a penalty the possession before when they were on defense. But now at the other end, that's where they're going to take one. And once again, we'll get another timeout here. Allow the netminders the opportunity to grab a drink, as we've got 5:19 to go here. As we go back to the replay, check out this spin move there by Nash. Just avoiding the big hit. Gets hit after, but at the same time, quick feet there. Nice spin move. And good recovery to get to that loose ball, to give the SWAT an opportunity. They have not won many battles or many races to loose balls. As we get a strong battle right now in front of the goal. Power play opportunity for the SWAT. They've struck twice on the power play, trailing currently 18-5. There's a shot. Quick hands by Nash. Oh, and turned it around. Took the shot really quickly. Good reaction, but bounces it up and out of play. Under 5 to go here in the third. And now here's a break for the Chill, and they score. The captain puts it home, Mackenzie Smith. (19-5) now the score. And it's been a rough one for the Saskatchewan SWAT. And right there, Mackenzie Smith, opportunistic, saw that he only had one man to beat, turns on the Jets, out sprints him no problem and scores. And another win at the circle for the Chill. Cody Arsenault battles, gets to the ball. Right now he's got 4 green and white jerseys right around him. Eventually they got the ball away from him, but then they hit him after, and that'll be a turnover. So right now for Calgary, it's Joe Gardner with the ball. A minute left in the penalty against Katoni. Saskatchewan comes away with the ball. And the SWAT, with a couple quick passes, create a little space, and now they're going to go to work. 2 power play goals in this contest for them. Can they get a third? Here's Nash. Passes it. Firing it is Curry. Misses wide. Comes off the end boards. Picked up no problem by the Chill. And it looked like we might have another breakaway for Mackenzie Smith. Sees the man coming off the bench. That was Bryce Dueck. The strong defender for the SWAT, Dueck, trying to stay on Smith. Smith lost the ball momentarily. Still didn't come away with it. Big collisions right now along the boards. And whistle's going to go. It'll be Saskatchewan ball with 3:35 to go here in the third. 12 seconds now left in the penalty to Katoni. Oh, behind the back pass made by Curry. And that one missed. Now potential break down the other side. Arsenault, though, couldn't take the pass. And there haven't been many of those where the Chill haven't been able to connect or on a long pass. We're all even. 19-5 the score here for the Calgary Chill in the first game at the 2016 Founders Cup. We've got 3 more coming up here later today. Nash gets upended, battling for that loose ball, which comes loose. Picked up, but the shot clock will expire. So we're now into the final 2.5 minutes. As it's the Chill with the ball, continuing to dominate in this one. And they'll tack one more on, and they get to 20. It was picking up that ball and just firing it home. That was Torrin Eccleston. So 2 minutes to go here in the third. It's a 20-5 lead for the Calgary Chill. Ball bounces into the corner. Picked up. Here's Gillis. Takes the shot. That one was stopped. And the save was made. Held on to by the netminder, Dirksen. Here's Curry with it now. To Martin, 4 seconds left on the shot clock. He got hit, and the loose ball is picked up by the Chill. Oh, diving underneath and running it down the floor. Here is Garrett Hughes. He was stopped. Loose ball. A lot of whacking going on. There's battle for the loose ball. Into the final minute now, 50 seconds to go. And the SWAT, kind of in the story of this game, can't get it across center. 10 seconds left in the shot clock. They now get it up to center. 5 seconds left to shoot. Here's McCloy. McCloy spins away from a check, but the shot clock is going to expire. Now here's a breakaway, but holding up with the shot clock now off are the Chill, and they're just going to eat the clock up now. And this will do it, but how about a statement victory in the first game of the tournament by the Calgary Chill? They come to Orangeville and let everyone know they are going to be a tough team to deal with here in this tournament. They defeat the Saskatchewan SWAT 20-5 here in the opening game of the 2016 Founders Cup. And the big weapons, they were all clicking here today for the Chill. Tate Katoni, Joe Gardner, Jake Gillis, all with big games here this afternoon in Orangeville. As the final score, you see it there on your board, on your screen, Calgary defeats Saskatchewan 20-5. So right now both teams shaking hands, and we'll have some presentations, and we'll check out our 3 stars before we get to the players of the game. Here's the 3 stars, and Cody Arsenault, strong game here on both ends of the floor and in transition for the Calgary Chill. He's your 3rd star. 2nd star, Jake Gillis. Gillis had a very good game offensively. A lot of plays ran right through him, made things happen. And the 1st star, noted about it, Tate Katoni. He was just too much to handle for the Saskatchewan SWAT overall. Katoni with several points in this one. We'll have final totals hopefully for you in a little bit, but Katoni comes up big. Katoni, Gillis, and Arsenault, the 3 stars in this contest, and you could have picked many others. You could have picked many others in this one to be in that conversation all around for the Calgary Chill. So we're going to have players of the game coming up here at the opening contest of the 2016 Founders Cup. And the Calgary Chill are off to a great start.
Number 22, Parker
Mikulishin is the player of the game for the Saskatchewan SWAT. Had a goal, had plenty of opportunities, was very noticeable out there, especially with the offense being silenced pretty much in this one for Saskatchewan. Mikulishin definitely stood out.
For the Calgary Chill, Tate Katoni.
And Tate Katoni, our 1st star, is the player of the game for the Calgary Chill. Katoni, he was our player to watch from the start, and obviously one of the players to watch overall in this tournament. 89 points during the regular season. That was in 17 games played. 38 goals, 51 assists. Helped the Calgary Chill have a 16-4 record in the regular season. So there you go. The Calgary Chill off to a wicked start here at the 2016 Founders Cup. They post a 20-5 victory over the Saskatchewan SWAT. So from start to finish, it was all Calgary in this one. The final score, once again, the Chill defeat the SWAT 20-5. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for watching here this morning or this afternoon from wherever you're watching from. We got more Founders Cup action all week long and all day long here at the JVI Sports Network. So we hope to talk to you shortly later on here today. For everyone at the JVI team, I'm Mark McKelvey, wishing you a good afternoon.